Wow, it's been way too long. Now, before I get into this video, I just want to mention that during the college football season, especially this weekend with week 0, with preseason football or laced football, college football, hockey when it happens, maybe even some basketball, I will be doing a lot more sports streams slash watch along. So if you guys are interested, go follow me at twitch.tv /pro David 7 underscore 777. All of that should be in the description below. If you guys just want to talk sports, if you guys just want to have a good time watching them, go over there. If you want to just interact, follow everything down below. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a weird situation, right? It's funny. I want to just mention in a disclaimer. I'm going to try to be as serious as possible. It's what I do on this channel. I try to be that middle line of left and right because we have people on the left side who are saying that the Steelers are trash and that it's over. And then we have people on the right side that are like, oh, well, let's just wait. And they're just trying to make excuses. Let's just go through the middle. And I'm going to try to tell you guys the what I think about the Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason. Now, I will have a video maybe later on. And by the way, I'm sorry it's been so long. I wanted to try to make more videos, but then when I went on vacation, I enjoyed my summer. I was posting those shorts, which I'm going to try to start doing a lot more of when there is more sports. But anyways, whenever the season, I'll give it another week until I start making my official predictions. That video should be up before the first day of kickoff. Which I will be also streaming live at twitch.tv /pro David 777. So, the thing is with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where do I think they'll be at the end of the year? I think they're going to be in a decent spot. When you look at their defense got stronger. If not, is probably going to be one of the best in the league. When you think about the subtractions and the additions, that's really what you got to do. You have to look at last year, and then you have to make the subtractions of how good they were last year, add in the people in those spots, and are they better than they were previously? Now, you had Joey Porter Jr. I think that when you look at just their entire front, I think their front line has a minus and negative. I think Keanu Benton is taking a step up. I think him and Hayward are going to be good. Obviously, you have all those guys in the middle. I think the middle will be pretty good. You obviously have your two best edge rushers in Highsmith and TJ Watt. But now the next thing is Herbig. Like, one of the things the Steelers did a lot last year, which actually gave a little bit of help to TJ and Highsmith, was give them some reps off. And what they would do is every now and then they'll give like maybe three plays to Herbig and Golden to come in and give them a rest. Now Golden got an extension, retired right after it. And I think that's going to take a little bit of a dip. Obviously, now I think they're just trying to find that next edge rusher that could be that fourth guy that could give them a dependent. Although Herbig looks really good, when I watched the first game, I literally was like, "What the hell is TJ playing?" Because his stance is a whole lot different. Like, he is really mirroring TJ Watt, and I think that is very good for people to see. He's taking all this information, and I think that he could be a really deadly force and a deadly guy to be a third, basically the third guy, and come in whenever somebody needs a break. And I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to desperately need someone like that. When you look at the middle linebacker core, I think this is probably the best middle linebacker core they have had in a minute. Now, last year's definitely was an upgrade from the years previous. I think that when you brought in Alexander, when you brought in all these guys, it helped. I think now you have Queen. You got this guy in Peyton Wilson who looks like a stud. I believe he might have a concussion, but I think he was fine. Last time I checked. So that's good. It wasn't a long-term injury. Obviously, our biggest concern is that he has been hurt from his legs before, knees and stuff. So that middle linebacker core is great. I think when you have those two, Holcomb, who I still believe in 100%, who was our best linebacker last year. Then you have Roberts. I mean, if they were ever to go back down the road, maybe try to get Kwan Alexander. If an injury happens, I think that would be sick because I think Kwan really was a great player. I think that I wanted him to be re-signed up until we got Peyton and Queen. The safeties, I do think that the strong safety position is it was filled. I don't think it's a great fill-in, but I think it's still a good fill-in to help you as well, just to give Minka some time off, because the less Minka could do, the more powerful Minka could be in his own way. And then the corners, I think the corners got an upgrade. I think you get rid of Levi Wallace, you get rid of Patrick Peterson, you bring in guys and a lot of rookies. Like, they have 2 rookies and 1 undrafted that are killing it in camp. They obviously bring in Cam Sutton, but he's not going to be playing. They have Corey Trice that didn't play last year due to an ACL injury, but he looks really good. They think that he could be just like Joey Porter Jr. That's why they drafted him so late. He was like projected to be a top, I think day 1 or day 2 pick, if not early day 3. I think the defense is a lot stronger than it was last year. I think that's a positive. When you look at the special teams, obviously you have Boswell. I think that the punter is in a better position because as much as I like Presley Harvin and I like the leg, he's very inconsistent. And I think that that's really what the Steelers were irritated about. It was the fact that he was inconsistent. Like, yes, he would have these beautiful punts that would just be just right on the one, but then like the next 4 will be very bad punts and they'll be short, and now the defense has a lot more work. I think that this year that they really focused on that. We need the offense and the special teams to really help our defense get a little bit of space because we know they're good enough that they could stop. I mean, think about it. All those bad punts, they still didn't let up that many points sometimes during games. So when you look at the offensive side of the ball, I mean, there's some negatives, there's some positives. Your tight end room is the exact same as it was last year. Your running back room is the exact same. The only exception is that you're bringing in a guy like Patrick. Sorry, I almost said Patrick Peterson. I can't think of his name for the life of me right now. But Cordell Patterson. There we go. I knew it started with P. Who obviously could play different positions and be a guy that you could have and depend on, especially in the kick return. I think that your wide receivers aren't too bad. I know a lot of people say that, we need Ayuk. Now, yes, Ayuk is already a proven guy, but I mean, when you have a guy like Roman Wilson, who I think could really be a stud, especially on 3rd down, I think you have a guy in Calvin Austin that you haven't really seen much of because his first year he was injured. His second year he didn't get to see a lot of time with the Matt Canada's offense, which is crazy because for a man who loved jet sweeps, I'm surprised we didn't use him on those 1,000 times. Van Jefferson has looked really good in camp. He seems like a very valuable number 2 option. Obviously, like, he's been getting the ball, I think, out of the most of the wide receivers in this team. I think that he's been getting the ball a lot, especially in the preseason games. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, or even if I did, but like preseason really doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It's just to see if guys can make the roster, and it's honestly just to get guys warmed up. I never take preseason too serious, or at least I try not to. Although, because I mean, I think there's a receipt that there's a video of me saying the Steelers would probably be the best team in the league. Anyways, and then you have George Pickens, who once again, he is unproven. He really hasn't shown a lot. Like, obviously we've seen some good things, and those good things just clearly just being able to do your job and like catch balls when you can, make some highlight plays, and yeah, that's cool, but you want to see that dominance where you could just get that ball to him. He could just create some plays in open field and stuff like that. And then you go to the offensive linemen. Obviously, the offensive linemen taking a big brunt of a lot of the problems that we've had in camp and in those 2 preseason games. I mean, I think Broderick Jones will be fine if he moves back to the left side. I think that Troy Fontenot is going to be okay. I think it's just going to be a learning curve. I think a lot of people just, especially me, I said, okay, we're going to add 2 rookies to the offensive line. If we do that, we also have to expect a lot of mistakes because you're going to have a guy in the middle who is young and is learning the position in the NFL, as well as a right tackle, which I think right tackle, I believe, is the hardest tackle. Both of the tackles are difficult, but like right tackle, there's something about right tackle that I feel like it's always different. There's so many people that go in that position over and over every year for a lot of different teams. And then you have the quarterbacks. I think the quarterbacks are definitely a step up. I think that you have a guy in Russell Wilson who has experience. He's a Super Bowl ring, all this stuff. My problem with Russell Wilson so far is that I think he holds onto the ball too long. I think that he doesn't create those plays where he can roll out of the pocket and create something that's out of nothing. I think that he could still do that every now and then, but right now we just haven't seen it. And a lot of people also aren't taking this into an advantage. And I mean, I need to look and see the tape, but I feel like we haven't obviously seen the full potential of the Steelers offense. Like, why is Arthur Smith going to just call all of his great plays in the preseason? He's not. Like, let's be real. You know that Matt Canada called a lot of his great plays last year during the preseason. That's why we scored on them. Like, I think that this is just quite simply like, let's just do these like minor plays that are very fundamental, that are very simple, that we could try to do. The defenses could read them easily, but at the end of the day, it's for us to get better. And then at the end of the day, if a lot of you guys are in the game during the game time situation, we've gone through this 1,000 times already, you should be able to cash in on it. I think that Justin Fields, in my opinion, has been the better player. I think Justin Fields, in my opinion, should get the starting job. I think that he gives you an ability that Russ doesn't, and that's the escapability. I think that when the pocket collapses, Russell just doesn't get out like he used to, but Justin does. And I think the one thing about Justin Fields that I have seen negatively, besides maybe throwing, which obviously that one wide open touchdown he should have thrown, yes, he should have gotten it. I'm sure that if that happens to him again, I'm sure he's dropping it right on the money. And same thing when you roll, he's doing what Kenny did last year, which is sometimes I feel like he would have a really good pocket, but he feels the presence of it, so he rolls out, and then the guy who's on the right tackle sees him roll out and then just kind of like goes and pursues him, and then most of the time he either tries to rush upfield to try to get the yardage back or to try to get a yard or two, or if he sees someone wide open or if he sees someone, he'll attempt to make a throw, or he'll just throw it away. I mean, that's a lot of options, but that's kind of what I've noticed with Justin Fields. I do think Justin Fields, though, right now is the better QB. I think that if they want to win, they should probably put him in. Obviously, think they're going to have some sort of thing with Russ. They want to see what he could do. I think the Steelers are in a circumstance, no matter what, that if your quarterback isn't playing well, and I don't think that I think Tomlin's going to have a shorter leash than he normally does, especially because of how difficult the season gets after the bye week. Like, after the bye week, you have technically, like, one for sure winnable game. Like, you should win it. And by that time, you should already have a decent record going against your division rivals, going against the Eagles, going against, like, the Chiefs on Christmas. Like, those are big games, and I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have to watch out for that. I think that that's going to give Tomlin that sense that if we lose one game, like, we need to be quick on making quick decisions on whether or not I think this guy's it or not. Now, obviously, one game's ridiculous, but, like, let's just say, like, we do what we normally do, which is, okay, we're in our fourth game of the year, although two, like, one might be a loss, but the other two were very close wins. Like, maybe you have to look at a guy like Justin Fields to see if he energizes the offense, which I guarantee you he will have a Kenny effect that he did his first year. I think if you put Justin Fields in, this team's automatically going to be better because of the improvised quarterback play. At the end of the day, what do I think about the Steelers preseason overall before I end this video? I think it's just quite simple. It's preseason. I don't care. I really don't. I'm not going to care until the end of the season. TJ hasn't played. I mean, like, at the end of the day, if anything, we should be praising on how good the defense has really looked. I mean, the defense has looked pretty okay, even for it to be third stringers, some of them backups. Like, a lot of the defensive play has been very good and very well. And I take that 100%. Like, this should be something that we should keep an eye on. Don't take everything like it is to heart, but I really do like the Steelers defense right now. And I think that what we always know is that the Steelers defense could always try to make up for the lack of offense. Although this year, if they want to see success and they want to see a playoff run, if they want to see a playoff win in general, which I think everyone in Pittsburgh just wants to see, I think what they want to see for Pittsburgh is if that offense can somehow, some way just score points every now and then. Like, instead of going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, they need to make drives. They need to get field goals. They need to get touchdowns. They need to put points on the board almost every single quarter. So That's what I think. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a good situation. I don't think everyone complaining about everybody is just is ridiculous. If you guys ever want to hear all my opinions on every team, on every situation, like I said, I will always be, most of the time I am always live on twitch.tv/ at ProDavid underscore 777 in the description below. Sometimes I am, like I said, I will be doing watch along streams this week, and honestly, I might be streaming as this video gets uploaded. So let me know what you guys think. Like this video if you liked it. Comment down below. If you're a Steelers fan, what do you think about this situation? Who do you think should be the starting quarterback? That's the real question I want to ask you. How do you think the Steelers are going to do this season? Who do you think is going to be the quarterback? And if you think there's going to be a quarterback change. So tell me who you think is going to be the quarterback, and then tell me if you think there's going to be a change or not. Let me know what you guys think. Dominate the world, ladies and gentlemen. David the Dominator is out. Peace.